Yeah, people, back with another edition of the Matrix that just keeps on giving. Arsenal, the Matrix that just keeps on giving. Welcome to Normski TV. And before you do anything, or at the end of this video, I want you to subscribe and like it and put your comments in and let me know your thoughts on the maths ain't mathing. The maths ain't mathing, guys. And I was reading some stuff off of X and AFC stuff. You know, they do all things Arsenal with regards to the transfers and stuff. And yes, Benjamin Sesko, guys, a player that has been heavily linked with Arsenal, someone that looks like is going to end up being the number 9 for Arsenal. But people, the maths ain't mathing, man. And the reason why I'm saying that, guys, because just reading the article from AFC stuff, this was yesterday's article, and I think Dan Potts touched on it as well, with regards to the money that we're looking at paying RB Leipzig. RB Leipzig, I'm just going to read it from what they're saying. RB Leipzig, and this is that Pelletti goal, RB Leipzig are expecting the first offer from Arsenal for Benjamin Sesko next week. The clubs have found an agreement between 80 million euros to 100 million euros. They're saying that they're totally convinced that this will happen, that Sesko will play for Arsenal next season. Man, this is crazy, guys. The maths ain't mathing. Why am I saying this? Why am I saying the maths ain't mathing, man? Listen, man, welcome to the Matrix, man. Because it's only Arsenal. It's only Arsenal that will do this. You've got an option. You have an option of going for Victor Gyökeres, a guy that is banging in goals for Sporting Lisbon. Banging in goals for Sporting Lisbon. And the conversation is that with Victor Gyökeres, at the moment, the situation is not developing. That's not what I want to hear. That's not what I want to hear. And the reason why I'm holding my glasses like that, guys, because it's not a proper reading glasses, so I'm kind of looking down. I'm just having the glasses on so I look a little bit cool, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's besides the point. Let's get back to business. The maths ain't mathing. Victor Gyökeres, yeah, he has a buyout clause of, we know, of around about 85 million euros to 100 million euros. But there is a gentleman agreement of some sort where we can get Victor Gyökeres for 60 million pounds. Sporting Lisbon will be willing to take offers of 60 million pounds. Why are Arsenal not on this? A guy that is scoring goals left, right, and centre. Left, right, and centre. It's absolutely crazy, people. It's absolutely crazy that we are not in for this guy. This Sesko, we know, is definitely an Arteta target, an Arteta signing, and people are going to ask the question, what is the point of Andre Berta being here? Now, I know Andre's got to sort out, you know, all the other contract situations with Gabriel Magalhaes, William Saliba, Saka. I know he has to take care of business there, but when he came into Arsenal, everybody had a bit of hope, saying that, yep, this guy's going to come in and he is going to deal with business. At the moment, it feels like a power struggle, even though we saw him and Arteta with Gabriel sign a new contract. What is really going on behind closed doors, people? What is going on behind closed doors? I really would like to know. Because this Victor Gyökeres, we should be getting this guy. His name is being linked with Berta as opposed to Sesko being linked with Arteta. But who has the power? It looks like Arteta still has the say in targets. Why? Because we're also getting Zubimendi. We're looking to get Zubimendi. We're also linked with Nico Williams, which I don't want to see that guy nowhere near this club. So the two targets that are likely to come at the moment, and let's just throw in Kepa, another Chelsea reject, £5 million, possibly going to be on £100,000 a week. A guy that in the finals of the Carabao Cup was telling Sarri, don't take me off, and having a go, nah. Another Chelsea reject. But listen, that's another story. That's another story. And we're going to pay him £100,000 a week. Madness. Absolutely. This is why Arsenal are doing their thing. Berta, what are you doing? I need some answers. Yeah, I need to be a fly on the wall to know really what is going on when it comes to you having your say and putting your final say on it. It looks like it's, again, Arteta running and ruling the roost. And the owners are letting this happen. You brought in Berta. Josh, you brought in this guy. I thought you brought him in to deal and sort out this situation when it comes to talent ID and Arteta and the ex-Edu. You know, yeah, people are going to say that the deal was sewn up, or should I say they were looking at him. So these are the targets that they were looking at before Berta came in. But you got to assert your authority more, Berta. Or Josh, you got to let the man assert his authority more, because we're now going for a guy that scored 14 goals last season, or 14 goals last season, or 13 goals this season, 14 goals the season before. So he is digressing. Or shall I say, not digressing, that's not the word. He is basically falling off a cliff. You might say I'm a bit harsh, and that I'm a bit harsh on him. We don't know what Sesko is going to offer us when he comes to the Premier League. But I don't want a guy that's coming in, and I used the wrong word. It's not digressing. It's a word where he is not progressing. Yeah, he's not progressing. His numbers are not progressive. Yeah, they're on the downer. Yeah, they're on the downer. And we are prepared to pay 80 million to 100 million euros for this guy. Another project. We do not need another project. Yes, we don't know what he's going to do when he comes. We don't know what he's going to do when he comes. But seriously, guys, can you imagine? Man United are looking at Embremo. They've already got Cunha. There's a possibility that Man United will get Victor because he's played already under Ruben. Now, that front three, compared to the front three that we're potentially going to have, I would say it's better. You might disagree with me, but I'm going to say it's better. If we still have Martinelli, I know we would need to address that left-hand side, and we need to be getting mans like Rodrigo. Yeah. We need to, Rodrigo, from Real Madrid. He has to have conversations with Alonso. Yeah, there's a World Cup coming up. He has to be that marquee signing. If we're going to get if we're going to get Benjamin Sesko, we need to get Rodrigo on that left-hand side. Because if we're still left with Martinelli or Trossard over there, we have not tackled that left-hand side. For a start, we've not tackled that left-hand side. So if, for any chance, our front three is Saka, Sesko, and Martinelli, compare that to Man United. Compare that to Man City's front three. Mamouche, Haaland. Yeah? Look at Liverpool. Look what they're doing. Look at the targets they're bringing in. Frimpong, Florian Wirtz. These guys are not sitting on their backside. They are making moves to try and win the Premier League again. And the signings that we're getting does not take us over the line. It does not take us over the line. And this is very worrying. Not only that, I don't know if this Zubimendi deal is going to be sewn up, because I'm still hearing that Real Madrid are interested and possibly Barcelona are interested. So how long is this whole thing going to be dragged out, people? How long is it going to be dragged out? The maths ain't mathing. Yeah? When you can be going for the likes of Victor Gokres, and let me just, again, let me just go and look at his, let me just look at his numbers here. Let me look at his numbers, yeah, up against Mr. Benjamin Sesko. So Victor Gokres, man. 24-25 season. 39 goals, 7 assists. But people are going to turn around and say, oh, well, 9 of those goals, 19 were penalties. Well, who cares? Who cares? Do I care? No. No, I don't care. The season before, 29. So this guy is improving. This guy is improving year in, year out. People talk about him playing in Coventry. All right? And I can't remember the player was, I can't remember if it was for, I can't remember if it was Southampton or whatever. But they're comparing another striker in the Championship, saying that he's got more goals than Victor. So what are we talking about? What we're talking about? So they're trying to, what's the name, down on Victor Gokres, because they don't feel that he would cut it in the Premier League, but they think that Sesko will cut it. Not only that, they're talking about high ceiling. They don't want to take a risk on Victor Gokres. Yes, Victor might want high wages, but he's worth every penny. Yeah, but because Sesko's 22 and has a high ceiling, then they know that, yes, in years to come, he's going to improve and probably turn out to be a top number 9. But I'm not asking for projects right now. I need players that are going to come in and ultimately change Arsenal now. Not in 2 or 3 years' time. I don't have time for that. But Mikel is smart at what he does, because all you're going to hear from the top gooners is give Sesko more time. He has to do it. He's only young. Not only that, you have a problem with the elephant in the room, which is Kai Havertz, because Arteta will not drop this guy. It's either he rotates him with Sesko, plays him in midfield, which we know Havertz cannot do. Yeah, but the first game of the season, we know what's going to happen. The likelihood is that Havertz starts that game. First game of the season. And we're spending 80 to nearly 100 million on Sesko. This could be another Højlund. Man United spent 72 million pounds on Højlund, and look what he's doing. This could turn out to be another Højlund. I said could. Remember the word could. I didn't say definitely. I said could. So there are risks involved. For both players, there are risks involved. But I say there's more risk with Sesko than there is with Victor Gokres, because he's played in England before, and we know that he can bang goals. Yeah, Sesko, 6'5" basketball player, very good in the air, can kick with both feet. But it doesn't matter. We need goals. I look at stats and say, I'm not looking at about projects. We're not a project no more. We've gone past all those phases. We're not a project no more. But yet you're hearing people saying that they're comparing him to Nicolas Anelka. They're playing him to Zlatan. Come on, man. What are we doing here? Seriously, what are we doing here? The maths ain't mathing, people. When you're going to be paying that kind of money for a youngster that we don't know whether he's going to hit the ground running. I think there's more risk there. And then when you compare him to other strikers like Mbemwa or attacking players in the Premier League, Chris Woods, Pedro, there's players and strikers in there that are better than Sesko. But because it's Sesko and it's Arteta's man, they're going to want this to work. Now, listen, if he comes, listen, at the end of the day, I'm not going to slag him down or whatnot, but he needs to hit the ground running. I'm not giving him no time. Just the same way you want Berta to hit the ground running with his transfer business, Sesko better hit the ground running. You're paying that kind of money, you need to hit the ground running. But it's putting a lot of pressure on the guy. So he has to deal with the pressure as well. Yeah, he has to deal with the pressure of playing in the Premier League. It's a physical league. It's a fast league. And you got to remember, Sesko is about the 9th highest goal scorer. There's midfielders in the Bundesliga scoring more goals than him. And what is this problem with age? Oh, you know, Victor Gokres, he's 27, and we're taking a risk on his age. There's Lewandowski. There's Kane, Harry Kane. These men are banging in goals for fun. Barcelona winning a league. The Bayern Munich winning the Bundesliga with 2 strikers that are in their 30s. What are we doing here? But yet you will not take a chance on Victor Gokres, who you can get for 60 million, who can now end up at Man United. I hope to God that he goes to somewhere like Barcelona. Yeah? Because I'll tell you what, if he comes and dumps on us, and this is what Arsenal do. This is what Arsenal, we never do what we're meant to do. When we're meant to go for the targets to get us over the line, we never do it. We're always having to find some sort of excuse or, you know what I mean? We never go for the ready-made player. Look how long we've been looking for a striker since Aubameyang. You think Gabriel Jesus, who's on 260 grand a week, yeah? Was it 6 goals in the Premier League? Correct me if I'm wrong. Put it in the comments when you get a chance. Yeah? Crocked. And I'm now hearing that they want to give him another contract. Maybe just to preserve his valuation and to get some money possibly in the January window, because he ain't going to be back until then. And then you have Kai Havertz on 9 goals, and people saying, oh, you never know, you could have got 20 odd goals. Listen, the guy was not doing well at the start. Yeah, he was not doing well at the start. 9 goals, come on. 21 games in, you should be scoring more than 9 goals. Missing, every time that guy was missing, we were saying we need to go and get out. Why was it then we was linked with going and getting an out-and-out striker? Because Havertz ain't doing it, but because Mr. Arteta, who spent 65 million, is going to die on the hill with this guy. He's going to die on the hill of the Kai Havertz, because he needs to make sure that this guy shoehorned in, whether he plays as a striker or plays in midfield, he must be in the side. Because you're not going to leave a guy that's got who you're paying £280,000 a week on the bench. That ain't going to happen. The owners won't have it. And that's why I thought bringing in Berta will sort out these stupidness and these madness. Yeah? I thought that would have been the case, people. The maths ain't mathing, or mathing, should I say. And it's going to be a long old season. Yeah? Because if you think that we are challenging Liverpool and Man City with the purchases and transfers that they're getting in, the level of transfer targets that we are looking at compared to Man City. You remember Man City already spent 200 million in the January window. Mamouche. They got the midfielder. They got the defender. Now they're going for Cherki, who's going to replace Ryan Cherki, who's going to replace De Bruyne. Yeah, they've just got 8-0 from Wolves. That deal is almost over the line. Why is it that we take so long to do deals? We're going to be, doing the deal for Zubimendi in July, announcing it in July. Why? If the deal was meant to be done in January, yeah, why is it done? He has a buyout clause. Why isn't it done? But this is what we get, yeah? And we don't even know if the deal was definitely done, because we're still hearing that Real Madrid and Barcelona are interested in this guy. So we're still not too sure whether it is happening. And people telling us, oh, just to calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Don't worry. It's early in the window. It might be early in the window, yeah? But you got the likes of Man United, the likes of Man City, the likes of Liverpool acting now and getting their required targets that we should be getting. But we must, calm down. Yeah? Coming on the streams, calm down what? And then you're saying, I'm worried. I'm worried. I'm worried about the window. I'm worried about what our targets, us losing our targets. Yeah, flip-flopping. Too many of these guys flip-flopping. Not only that, how can man say, right, that Sesko and Victor Gyökeres are not better than what we've got at the moment in Kai Havertz? People are saying this. Top gooners are saying this. Ideally, they would want Isak as their main striker, but we know it's going to be beyond us. We're not going to be able to get him. And then they want to compare Isak when he was at Real Sociedad. And the only reason why we went through him then, because we missed out on Vlahovic. I remember at the time, I think he had only scored in that season six goals for Real Sociedad. So we was kind of desperate, but we missed out on him. And then what happens? He ends up going to Newcastle, where you got a proper manager that knows how to get the best out of their players in Eddie Howe. This is what we are dealing with, people. This is what we're dealing with. And as I said, it's going to be a long whole season. It really is going to be a long season, because I really do not see us making this top 4 or 5. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to be an absolute struggle. Yeah, absolute struggle. And we need to pull our fingers out. As simple as we need to pull our fingers out. And yeah, maths ain't mathing. That's what I've got to say. Maths ain't mathing. 80 to 100 million euros on Sesko. And you have the chance to go and get Victor Gyökeres, who has scored 39 goals. 39 goals and 7 assists. And you want to say that he's a risk? Bro, the Matrix is real, man. The Matrix is real. With these top content creators gassing up Sesko and saying that Victor Gyökeres is a risk. Guys, I could talk more on this, but every now and again, you have to go in, see what's going down in the world of the Arteta Arsenal Matrix, where these top gooners, these mutants, want to justify bringing in a project striker in Sesko. Bro, season is going to be long, people. The season's going to be long. Listen, I'm going to finish it here. Please hit that like button. Subscribe and share if you're new. And please leave your comments. Leave your comments. Let me know your thoughts. Yeah, you might cuss me and say you don't know what you're talking about. But let me say this again. The maths ain't mathing.